Back now with that massive sinkhole wreaking havoc in Florida over the weekend.
6. Hurricanes, sea level rise, and our expanding footprint are taking a heavy toll on our coastlines.
When it comes to protecting shorelines from threats of erosion, storms, and rising seas, the traditional solution has been to build walls or hard infrastructure.
While people try to cope with the heat right now by heading to local beaches, it's important to be mindful of what's also swimming in the water.
Florida, a land of endless summer, with neon sunsets and endless stretches of powdery sand. It is a place known for its vibrant culture, sprawling wetlands, and the glamorous sweep of its coastal cities. But beneath its radiant exterior lies a world far stranger, older, and more haunting than most realize. For centuries, stories of hidden realms beneath turquoise waters or secrets buried deep within primeval forests have intrigued explorers and scientists alike. Yet, in recent years, a cascade of discoveries has shocked the scientific community, forcing us to reconsider what we knew about America's enigmatic peninsula. From mysterious fossils entombed in ancient sinkholes to the surprising ways living ecosystems are coping with rising seas, Florida's story is one of upheaval, change, and revelation. Adventurous divers, probing shadowy depths, have stumbled upon underwater anomalies that challenge accepted geological narratives. Paleontologists have recovered relics of life forms that illuminate the peninsula's distant past, while archaeologists have uncovered evidence of cultural resilience in coastal settlements, even as relentless waters threaten to erase them. What do these strange discoveries mean? Why does Florida, with its shifting ground and hidden realms, continually rewrite its own story? Today, join us as we journey into the heart of this sunlit enigma, exploring 20 revelations that could forever change the way we see Florida, its past, its present, and its future. Are you prepared for what lies beneath paradise? The ancient sinkhole, secrets at the bottom of the river. Amid Florida's winding rivers and lush subtropical banks, fossil collectors recently made a find so extraordinary it left scientists astounded. Submerged beneath gentle currents, an ancient sinkhole, now entombed beneath a river, emerged from the murky sediment as a graveyard for prehistoric animals. This rift in the landscape held more than just a jumble of bones. Buried within were remains of creatures that no human would ever see alive. Why is this discovery so significant? Sinkholes are common in Florida's karst landscape, but this particular void preserved a remarkable and layered record of environmental change and extinction. The fossil assemblage revealed evidence of ancient catastrophes, possibly rapid flooding, sudden collapse, or a combination of shifting water chemistry and climate extremes. Careful analysis of the sediment layers revealed abrupt changes, traces of rapid flourishing followed by sudden die-offs. Mineral content hints at episodes of changing water conditions, such as influxes of saltwater or oxygen depletion. Paleontologists at the site cataloged not just large bones, but also pollen grains and microscopic mollusks, piecing together the history of ancient habitats and environmental calamities. What remains hidden beneath Florida's waterways, preserved in similar chasms? Did these sinkholes act as natural time capsules, sealing away evidence of ancient disasters? As divers retrieve relics, the mysteries of prehistoric Florida come into sharper focus, a reminder of the powerful, repeated reshaping of the land beneath our feet. Underwater enigma, the patch beneath the surface. Far from bustling beaches and fishing piers, marine scientists began tracking an unusual patch of ocean just off the Florida coast. Armed with updated sensors, they detected anomalies in temperature, magnetic fields, and biological activity. A team of expert divers and geologists gathered to investigate. What they found was not a common reef or seagrass meadow, but a zone unlike other areas nearby, a patch of the seafloor exhibiting unexpected chemical signatures and evidence of subterranean activity. Samples revealed mats of unusual microbes growing in chemical environments inhospitable to most marine species. Sonar imaging documented hollow spaces, a mosaic of voids or pockets within the ocean floor. These features hint at ongoing geological change, perhaps underwater mineral upwellings, subtle tectonic shifts, or unique groundwater flow connecting the ocean to the land. Although speculation persists about ancient forces at work, the specifics remain a scientific puzzle. Are there more such submerged oddities off Florida's coasts? As studies continue, the existence of such places challenges our assumptions about stability, reminding us that much remains undiscovered beneath the surface of even familiar waters. Haunting echoes, Florida's shifting geology. Generations of scientists once considered Florida practically geologically settled, a plateau left after ancient seas retreated, far from earthquake or mountain-building forces. But newer research is challenging this view. Marine scientists and geologists have encountered evidence that Florida's history is punctuated by sudden, sometimes violent change. Seismic sensing and analysis of underground structures show fractures and deformations below the surface. Features once dismissed, now recognized as relics of earthquake activity or rapid geological shifts. Geological core samples from unexpected places reveal twisted or compressed layers, recorded under enormous pressure. Patterns of tremors and subsurface anomalies suggest the existence of ancient faults. While Florida is not considered earthquake-prone today, evidence hints that powerful quakes may have left a legacy etched into the peninsula's sandy foundations. Such hidden movements raise compelling questions. Could these forces ever reawaken? And how might they reshape Florida's future? Florida's vanishing shorelines, ecosystems in flux. As global sea levels slowly rise, Florida's sprawling coasts have become sites of ecological transformation. Long-term studies in wetlands, estuaries, and the Everglades show complex, sometimes unexpected responses to encroaching saltwater and shifting tides. Some low-lying islands have disappeared in our lifetimes. Marshlands migrate inland. Familiar animal and plant species vanish from traditional habitats, while tropical newcomers take their place. Pollen and plant fossils in ancient sediments reveal that such changes have happened before. When ice ages ended and oceans returned, or when abrupt warming transformed the landscape. Recently, researchers documented the rapid expansion of mangrove forests in areas once dominated by salt marsh grasses. Certain coastal birds and fish are losing their homes, while other species thrive in the new environment. Scientists still debate whether these mixed responses represent resilience or warning signs of deeper ecological stress. How long can Florida's ecosystems buffer the advancing sea? The state stands as a dynamic laboratory for understanding the interplay of adaptation, loss, and transformation at the edge of rising tides. Fossils in the quarry, frozen moments from deep time. Beneath manicured lawns and city streets, quarrying operations in Florida have uncovered entire fossil deposits, rich layers of non-vertebrate remains, from leaves and seeds to crustaceans and ancient insects. These fossilized glimpses unlock forgotten worlds, subtropical forests, swampy wetlands, and shallow lakes teeming with life, both familiar and strange. Preserved dragonflies, rare water bugs, and ancient plant fragments illuminate details of vanished climates and scenes. Fossilized amber sometimes holds grains of pollen or even trapped bubbles of ancient atmosphere, allowing scientists to reconstruct the climate of eons ago. What startles many experts is how abruptly these communities vanished. Fossil beds sometimes end suddenly, buried beneath sediment that signals rapid environmental change or catastrophe. Each quarry becomes an accidental archive, preserving the final moments of long-lost Floridian worlds. Could these frozen moments from prehistory offer warnings for today's rapidly shifting landscape? The preservation imperative, protecting heritage in a changing land. Along Florida's coasts, Archaeological sites record thousands of years of human presence, yet rising seas and an ever-changing shoreline increasingly threaten this heritage. Recently, archaeologists at Florida State University discovered that preserving these sites is more than a matter of history. It's a practical tool for modern resilience. Their findings reveal that communities which anchor their identity in protecting historic sites, be they indigenous settlements, ancient mounds, or early colonial outposts, also tend to recover more quickly from disasters. Oral histories, traditional knowledge, and the practice of maintaining sites foster strong community bonds and adaptability in the face of storms and floods. Heritage and history become rallying points for survival. Maps of old structures inform new flood defenses. Stories handed down alongside pottery shards help communities remember effective strategies for surviving disaster. In this way, the past supports the present, reminding us that the preservation of memory and place is key to future resilience. How many stories and traditions risk being lost to the tides, and what would their disappearance mean for Florida's future? The Lost River, subterranean pathways. Beneath the tangled forests and grasslands of Florida, enigmatic rivers run unseen. Recent mapping of karst landscapes reveals a network of underground waterways, some diving into sinkholes, others re-emerging miles away as springs vibrant with life. These hidden rivers connect ancient aquifers to springs, lakes, and wetlands above. Explorers and geologists sometimes find unexpected voids or channels deep underground, occasionally inhabited by rarely seen aquatic creatures adapted to darkness. Tracking colored dyes poured into sinkholes has revealed surprising links as water vanishes in one place only to burst forth far away. The chemistry of underground water often differs sharply from surface flows, betraying unseen geological processes at work. Sometimes, these aquatic highways deliver fossils, ancient sediment, or even artifacts from the depths to the surface, further evidence of a restless, interconnected system beneath Florida's calm exterior. Where else do these hidden rivers twist and turn, and what secrets do they still hold? A cataclysmic past, traces of volcanic activity? For decades, the idea of volcanism in Florida seemed purely hypothetical. The state was known more for water than fire, with bedrock formed of marine limestone and sediment. Yet, occasional discoveries, odd mineral deposits, anomalous heat signatures, and certain rare rocks have raised the question: could there have been volcanic activity, either deep in the past or below the surface today? Most experts agree that Florida has no active or recent volcanoes. However, some underwater patches show unique geothermal signatures and upwellings of minerals uncommon to the region. A few geologists suggest these might be relic evidence from times when Florida was much closer to tectonic activity, or from movement of hot waters deep below. Discovery of mild geothermal anomalies does not necessarily signal volcanic danger, but it does add nuance to Florida's image as a purely settled realm. The lingering traces are a reminder that geological processes, however subtle, can surprise us where we least expect. The liminal beach, sudden closure and sudden change. One of Florida's most famous beaches was abruptly closed after an unexpected underwater discovery. Although beach closures are not uncommon due to storms or erosion, this shutdown was prompted by something unidentified found beneath the surf, prompting rapid action from local authorities. Speculations abounded. Some suspected unusual geological formations. Others pointed to possible environmental hazards. Officials and scientists monitored the area for water quality issues or ground instability, but details remained sparse. Events like these highlight just how unpredictable Florida's coasts can be. The dynamic interface between land and sea occasionally reveals hidden risks, sometimes through subsidence, sometimes via upwellings, and sometimes through simple chance. For a peninsula built on shifting sand, the lesson is clear. The shoreline is always in motion, its mysteries often visible only in hindsight. Microcosms on the edge. Adaptations in the tide pools. Marine biologists peering into Florida's tidal zones have discovered a world of hidden diversity. While the state's coastline is mostly sandy, rocky outcrops and human-made structures support tide pools teeming with resilient life. Surveys in these microhabitats have uncovered unique invertebrates, new species of algae, and unusual microbial communities that endure swinging salinity and temperature. Recent genetic studies highlight their remarkable adaptability to change. Experiments with these organisms reveal surprising resilience. Some withstand bursts of toxins from red tide or the stress of drying out in the sun. Scientists have found snails with unusual shell shapes and behavioral quirks evolving over short periods. In these liminal spaces, adaptation accelerates, mirroring the changes occurring across Florida's broader ecosystems. Could the secrets of these tiny survivors provide inspiration for conservation and adaptation strategies facing global climate uncertainties? Crustacean oddities, decapods, and ostracods frozen in stone. Among the multitude of fossils found in Florida's quarries are the remains of decapods and ostracods, tiny crustaceans with outsized roles in aquatic ecosystems. Their fossilized bodies, layers deep in limestone or marl, tell a story of fluctuating waters and episodic disaster. Some layers contain evidence of increasing salinity, perhaps intrusion of seawater into inland lakes, while others hint at sudden die-offs, captured in sediment loaded with empty shells. Shell chemistry from these fossils allows researchers to reconstruct ancient water temperatures, salinities, and abrupt episodes of environmental stress. In particular, certain beds are so full of ostracods that they mark moments of widespread disturbance, most likely tied to habitat changes or chemical upsets. By tracking their fate, we glimpse the delicate balance of Florida's ancient ecosystems and the cascading consequences when that balance is lost. Lost giants, animals of the ancient sinkhole. Excavations in the now submerged river sinkhole not only produce tiny fossils, but also colossal bones of animals that once dominated Florida's landscapes. Remains of mammoth-sized herbivores and extinct predators paint a vivid picture of Pleistocene Florida, a land with megafauna roamers. Scientists debate what led to their mass demise: entrapment by the sinkhole, drought, or sudden environmental collapse. The jumble of bones, preserved together in unnatural positions, implies a catastrophic event rather than slow attrition. Climate records show that rapid shifts, like the end of the last ice age, could have destabilized ecosystems, making survival precarious for large mammals. While extinction is a constant, the volume and variety of bones here provide a sobering window into how abrupt change can wipe out even the mightiest of creatures. Today's manatees, panthers, and alligators are but the latest in a line of Florida giants shaped and occasionally undone by forces beyond their control. Preserved plantology, botanical time machine. Fossil beds are not just about animals. Florida's ancient sediments also preserve detailed remnants of prehistoric plants, leaf impressions, seeds, and bits of wood that serve as windows into vanished forests and swamps. Paleobotanists have painstakingly reconstructed the changing green tapestry of Florida, tracking the succession from fern-ridden wetlands and subtropical forests to periods of grassier, drier landscapes. Pollen grains reveal transitions in the types of plants that thrive through different climates or after major disturbances. Some plant remains are from species without living descendants. Others are early relatives of today's vegetation. These fossils reveal how plant communities adapted to repeated cycles of inundation and drought, sometimes flourishing, sometimes contracting, as the peninsula passed through the climatic swings of deep time. What lessons can these ancient survivors offer for understanding, or even planning for, vegetation changes driven by today's rapid climate shifts? Ancient seas, marine fossils reveal displacement. Much of Florida was at one time submerged under tropical seas. Fossils embedded in limestone and other sediments testify to long-vanished oceans brimming with marine life. ancient corals, spiraled shells, and crustaceans not seen in today's Gulf waters. Shifts in sea level, often due to glacial cycles, produced alternating periods of submergence and exposure, moving coastlines far inland or back again. Fossil beds sometimes show mass stranding events where thousands of ancient shellfish perished together, or coral beds suddenly stopped growing, likely in response to rapid environmental turnover. Decoding these layers helps today's scientists understand the full range of Florida's vulnerabilities, reminding us that change is the peninsula's only constant. The echoing caves, subterranean soundscapes. Recent cave explorations in Florida have brought forth an unexpected find: mysterious echoes and rumbles recorded deep within the limestone labyrinth. Geologists, using sensitive microphones, detected sound signatures from rushing water, rock shifts, and even unexplained vibrations. Many noises have been traced to natural causes: water pushing through narrow tunnels, rocks settling as groundwater erodes away support. Some rhythms, though, remain unexplained and have spurred curiosity about the geological processes continuing out of view. Legend and science blend here. Ancient stories speak of talking stones and caves that breathe. Today, these subterranean soundscapes may become valuable tools, helping researchers monitor for the faintest signs of instability, collapse, or even early earthquake risk. Is the ground beneath Florida actually alive with reminders of its dynamic geological past? The resurgent spring, natural fountains of mystery. Throughout Florida, spectacular freshwater springs gush from the earth, fueling rivers and teeming with life. Some are so deep that divers still haven't reached the bottom. Others fluctuate with seasons and even distant earthquakes. These springs connect to massive underground aquifers whose mysteries are still being mapped. After intense storms or seismic events thousands of miles away, certain springs suddenly surge with increased flow or deliver up objects from deep underground, sometimes fossils, sometimes artifacts of ancient human use. Unique microbial communities live in these shadowy aquatic spaces, their ancestry stretching back millions of years. Each spring is a living laboratory for geologists, biologists, and archaeologists alike, yet the full extent of the labyrinth beyond them remains largely unknown. What secrets might be swept to the surface as springs connect past and present in unexpected ways? The resilience factor, living communities amidst peril. Along Florida's coasts, both human and natural communities weather persistent change. Archaeological research shows that those communities which nurture cultural memory and traditional practices recover more quickly from disasters, whether storms, flooding, or coastal erosion. Physical relics, pottery, ancient fish traps, shell mounds take on new importance, not just as historical artifacts, but as functional tools and sources of community identity. Field studies demonstrate that wetlands where traditional management persists recover faster after hurricane, while descendants of early Floridians adapt ancient techniques like shell mound building to defend new homes from floods. This blend of tradition and adaptation highlights a timeless lesson. Our survival may depend as much on remembering as on new innovation. The ongoing enigma, sudden discoveries, sudden changes. Florida is a place where new mysteries continually emerge. Sometimes, land subsides and reveals lost fossils. Other times, quarries give up the remains of vanished ecosystems. Satellite images occasionally capture fresh patches of Earth exposed by shifting ground. Scientists are constantly surprised, whether by new chemical signatures in the springs or by fossils of species entirely new to science. Each find leads to more questions. Each answer spawns new mysteries. In Florida, the past never stays buried, and the landscape constantly uncovers the strange and the wondrous. How many more secrets remain to be discovered? The ultimate question, Florida's legacy for the future. All these discoveries reinforce one point. Florida is a dynamic, restless land where geology, ecology, and human history collide in surprising ways. The peninsula is shaped as much by continual change as by its celebrated beauty, a place where resilience is forged through remembering and adapting, and where fragility and creativity coexist. Will the next generation of discoveries rewrite everything we think we know yet again? As the sun dips low over the Everglades and the waves glitter in the waning light, Florida stands revealed, a place forever in flux. Each secret brought to light only deepens the mystery, drawing us onward into new exploration and wonder. Which discovery leaves you most astonished, and which mystery do you believe has yet to be revealed beneath Florida's palm-shadowed sand? Stay curious. There is always more to learn beneath the restless surface of this remarkable land.